this move just changed the future of the Bengals as they select Shamar Stewart with the number 17 overall pick. Welcome back to the Bengals Digest channel. I'm Carson Lokey. Hope you guys are having an amazing day or morning, I guess, if you're still up after the first round of the NFL draft. And yeah, the name has been pulled out. Shamar Stewart is officially a Cincinnati Bengal. Now, there was a lot, instantly, there was a lot of mixed feelings as soon as it happened. I had mixed feelings about it. There were a lot of people upset, a lot of people excited. Even earlier on in the day, I was going through X, and I saw a bunch of tweets of saying people like, we need to get Shamar Stewart. And then I saw a bunch of people saying, one player that I do not want, Shamar Stewart. So this guy has been polarizing Bengals Twitter since they picked him a few hours ago. And I don't know, it's a very Cincinnati Bengals pick, if that makes sense. I thought they would go a different route. I thought they would change from what they used to do. They did not. Career-wise, from Texas A&M, his stats, I'm going to warn you, not the greatest. This is his career, last 3 years. 65 total tackles, 30 solo, 12 tackles for loss, sacks 4.5, 4 passes deflected, 1 fumble recovered. PFF grade-wise of last season, 79.5. Last year, he had an 88.2 run defense grade, and he had 39 quarterback pressures last season. So, the Bengals, this is a project pick. There's no way I can't beat around the bush. This is a project pick. He has an insane amount of talent and raw ability, and he's massive. He's a massive human being. He's very quick with his hands and his feet, and he gets to the quarterback. 39 quarterback pressures last season, led the team for Texas A&M. But last season only had 1.5 sacks. He's getting to the quarterback, but he's not finishing the tackles. And that is the main problem with Shamar Stewart, and why I think a lot of teams were kind of passing on him, was the fact that he could get there, yes, and he was very efficient getting there. But once he got there, it was hard for him to take down the quarterback. And he even talked about that after the draft. He was asked by reporters about people being concerned with his lack of sacks, and he said, I'm nowhere near my potential, and when I get there, it's going to be scary. And obviously, I'm a Bengals fan. I hope that he turns out to be the next Myles Garrett, because that's obviously where Myles Garrett came from. 6'4", this is Myles Garrett, 6'4 and a half, 272 pounds, 41 inches vertical jump, 8 feet and 8 inches, 10 feet and 10 feet and 8 inches broad jump. Now, what about Shamar Stewart? He's bigger than him, 6'5", 267 pounds, 40-inch vertical jump, 10 feet, 11 inches broad jump. Now, you say he was nowhere near as productive as Myles Garrett was, but he has the same talent. He has the same body style. He has the same play-making ability, potential. That's the key word, the potential. This is a upside pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. This is a gamble. They see a lot of talent with him. He does what he needs to do. They're just hoping that they can flip the switch in him for whatever reason to finish those tackles, to finish those sacks. We'll go watch him, his highlights. Every play, he is in the backfield. He is pressuring the quarterback on every single play. He just, for some reason, isn't finishing the tackles. So maybe if you keep Trey Hendrickson and you combine that with Trey Hendrickson, then you have somebody that is forcing the quarterback to run the opposite way, and that's just coming straight toward Trey Hendrickson. So Trey Hendrickson, because of Shamar Stewart, might have 20 sacks next season because of Stewart's pressuring ability to make the quarterback run out of the pocket. But it's just an interesting pick for me, especially with the players that were chosen. Shamar Stewart was drafted in round 1, pick 17 in the 2025 draft. Obviously, he scored a 10 out of 10 on the RAS ranking. This is how they kind of grade draft prospects. The highest you can get is a 10. He got a 10. This ranks number 1 out of 2,029 defensive edge rushers from 1987 to 2025. So according to this metric, he had a very good combine and a very good draft cycle. He has been graded as the best edge rusher since 1987, according to this metric. So there's a lot of stuff that are backing him up. But my main concern, like this, is this exact tweet is what embodies my concern. The last edge rusher taken in the first round with a final collegiate season pass rush win rate as low as Shamar Stewart was Myles Murphy. Let's go back a few drafts ago, I guess, when we drafted Myles Murphy. The main consensus after that pick was he wasn't very productive in college, but he had the upside and the talent and the potential to be one of the elite pass rushers in the league. He's been on the Bengals for the last 2 seasons and hasn't done anything. Now, I'm not saying that's totally his fault. I don't think personally he has been given the right amount of time to do anything. He hasn't been given enough chances to do anything. I think Lou was kind of holding him back with sticking with Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard as the starters. I think if they gave Myles Murphy a little bit more chances, he could have had a breakout season this season or 2 seasons ago. But with Shamar Stewart, it's literally another Myles Murphy, literally the exact same pick as Myles Murphy a few seasons ago. If Myles Murphy panned out the way the Bengals were hoping when they picked him, we wouldn't be drafting Shamar Stewart right now. So why are we doing the same thing, rinse and repeat, over and over again, when 2 seasons ago it didn't work with Myles Murphy? So why are we doing the same thing with a player who is showing the same thing as Myles Murphy was? That's what everybody was talking about. Not a lot of whole production to look at on paper from college, but his talent is there. Now, Shamar Stewart, he was actually less productive than Myles Murphy in college, but his talent is there. Now, obviously, I am hoping and praying, and I fully trust in Al Golden that he made the right decision, because I have to, because that is the decision they made ultimately, and I hope he turns out to be the next Myles Murphy. I hope he becomes the best edge rusher in the league, because that's what the Cincinnati Bengals need. They need somebody that can get after the quarterback. So I am hoping for the best. I grade this as a B-. I think we could have easily had an A+ grade in the first round with who was available. And this is how it went down. Yesterday, I gave my 4 players that I wanted: Walter Nolan, Tyler Warren, Jahad Campbell, or Mike Green. 2 players were picked up before the Bengals had a chance. Tyler Warren, like I said, most likely wasn't going to be there. He was picked up by the Colts, which we thought. Surprise pick, literally the pick before we went, the Colts selected Walter Nolan. I think that was who the Bengals were going to go with. I think if Walter Nolan was there at 17, they would have picked Walter Nolan, and I would have been a lot more happier right now if it was Walter Nolan than what we had. But when you have Jahad Campbell, I don't know if I said him in the 4, but I meant to. When you have Jahad Campbell and Mike Green sitting there at 17 and you pass them up, Mike Green last season had 17.5 sacks. And I know he was in Marshall. He was playing less caliber teams. I understand that. But he got a sack against Ohio State, and Ohio State just had 2 offensive linemen go in the first round. You know who Shamar Stewart last season had 1.5 sacks? That sack came against Bowling Green. Not against SEC opponents, Bowling Green. You have Mike Green still available. Would have been an A+ grade pick for me, or maybe an A. Or maybe Jahad Campbell, linebacker, who just got picked up by the Philadelphia Eagles. The only one left is Mike Green. Maybe, well, now we won't get him because we already drafted an edge rusher. But who is the best drafting team in the NFL? And who has the best GM? The Eagles. For whatever reason, the NFL loves to keep the Eagles good, because every year, even though they draft in the late first round every single year, the best player on defense for either the Georgia Bulldogs or the Alabama Crimson Tide is available, and the Eagles are going to pick them every single year. It happens every time. Literally every time. Think about Jalen Carter. even later rounds, Cooper DeJean last year, and now Jahad Campbell. That was my biggest fear. I'm not an Eagles hater. I just don't want them to be as good because I want the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. I was like, what's going to happen is we're going to pass on Jahad Campbell, and everybody's going to pass on Jahad Campbell, and he's going to become an Eagle, and he's going to be an absolute dog. Now think about this. We drafted an edge rusher. What is their main job? Get after the quarterback. That is the main job for an edge rusher. Get after the quarterback. Put the quarterback on the ground. Shamar Stewart, in 3 seasons with Texas A&M, finished with 4.5 sacks. Jahad Campbell, who is a linebacker for Alabama, his main job is not to get after the quarterback, is not to get the quarterback on the ground, but to protect from against the run, protect against the pass, maybe spy the quarterback, maybe stop him from getting more yards on a scramble. He finished last season with 5 sacks. 5 sacks. Shamar Stewart, 4.5 in 3 years as an edge rusher. Jahad Campbell, 5 sacks last season as a linebacker. I don't know. To me, I just felt like there was so much talent left on the board when we picked Shamar Stewart. You could have easily picked this guy in the second round. I really don't think anybody was going to go after him in the first round. I think you could have left him there in the second round and he probably would have still been there. Or go get Jahad Campbell, and if you really want Shamar Stewart, then trade up in the second round. Or do what I said, get Jahad Campbell, and then maybe even in the third round, get Jack Sawyer, or the second round, Jack Sawyer. There's so many, or JT Tuimoloau. There's so many other options. Or Mike Green, because he fell to the second round. I don't know. It's just, to me, it was an extremely interesting pick. I really hope he does well. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting for him like crazy. He's got all the talent. He's got the potential. Now we just have to put our faith and trust in Al Golden that he knows what he's doing and that he turns his brother into one of the best pass rushers in the league. And I think he has the talent and the potential to do it. I think he has the talent and potential to become one of the best pass rushers in the league. It's just to see if he actually can. I'm obviously not giving up on him. I haven't seen him play in the stripes yet. But what makes me mad and makes me doubt the Bengals with this pick is the fact this is literally a rinse and repeat of what we did with Myles Murphy, and it hasn't worked out so far. I'm still hoping for Myles Murphy. I hope he has a breakout season, but it hasn't worked yet. And now we're doing the same thing with Shamar Stewart. Hopefully it works out, but we're having the same conversation over again. Thank you so much for watching this video. Obviously, tomorrow I'll be breaking down what happens in the second and third round. Hopefully, it is a little bit more happy for the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me know down below how you felt about this pick. When we were, when it was the 17th overall pick, there was 4 guys I said I wanted, and I have a video of it so I can post it. I had said if I hear the name Mike Green, Jahad Campbell, and with the 2 other players I named that were still available, I said Jahdae Barron and Will Johnson. Those are the 4 guys. I was like, there 4 names are still on the board. If I get any of them or hear any of those names, I'd be happy. And then I heard Shamar Stewart, and I didn't say a word. I was just kind of in disbelief. But let me know your reaction to this pick down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel for Bengals updates every single day. Don't forget to share this with your Bengals friends because Bengal football is better together. Like this video. Comment down below once again how you felt about this pick. And I'll see you tomorrow for more updates on the NFL Draft for the Bengals Digest channel. I'm Carson Lokey. Have an amazing one, and God bless.